CWFalcons.com here with Greg Etter following today's 31-28 defeat against Alma. Coach, before we get to your initial thoughts, let's go to the end of the game. Dante Edwards came up big. He had an 80-yard touchdown pass. With 2:20 to go, he caught an 18-yard touchdown pass on a long, sustained drive. How happy were you with the offense in the second half?
Well, our offense, obviously, I'm very happy with the adjustments that our coaching staff made. I'm extremely pleased with Aaron Nixon as the quarterback coming out of the locker room for the second half. Aaron struggled a little bit the week before. Aaron was struggling a little bit in the first half, and he settled down and had a much improved second half. And as Aaron goes, we have a chance offensively to go. So it's never a one-man show, but it does, Aaron has a big role in that. And so I was extremely proud of how he came out of the locker room, extremely proud of how the offense came out of the locker room, really proud of how the whole football team came out of the locker room and competed in the second half.
You talked offense. Kind of as Nixon goes, the offense goes. He's really starting to connect with Dante Edwards. Is that a connection there that's going to keep progressing as the season goes?
I think that with both of those two individuals, I think their potential is unlimited. They have the athleticism that, in my opinion, they can take it as far as they want to. They have to play within the scheme. They have to play within themselves, not do things outside of those areas, and then let things happen. If they trust themselves and trust the scheme, I think their potential, our offensive potential, is unlimited.
Let's talk defense now. You did have 2 interceptions today, with some bright spots there.
Yep.
But you gave up 558 yards, 290 on the ground, 3 rushing touchdowns. Some bright spots. As a whole, not so much.
Well, first of all, I have to give some of the credit to Alma. I mean, they are a well-coached, talented football team. We put a game plan in on the defensive side of the ball to stop some of their weapons. And what they had shown on film was an ability to get outside, an ability to take shots on the big play. And so we put a game plan in to take that stuff away. And initially we did, and then we got hurt inside. So I got to give the defensive staff credit for making halftime adjustments and allowing us to get back into the football game early in the second half. And then again, they're well coached, and then they took advantage of the adjustments that we had made. So at the end, they made one more play than we did and found a way to win.
What do you do as a head coach, a defensive-minded coach, with your team mentally to prepare for some of these big plays that happen? Do you scheme differently? Do you look at film differently? What do you do to try to limit some of those big plays?
Well, first of all, as much man-to-man and pressure that we have been playing, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. When we talked last week on a positive note, that dialing up pressure is not as easy as just sending people. You have to get the right fit, and people have to be able to play in space. And you are a step away from a big play. Now, you can make them, for yourself and help your team, but live by the sword, die by the sword. So we'll continue to see what we can do against different offenses and the individuals that make up those offenses and see how our matchups are. So we'll continue to plug away. I believe in those kids and the coaches, and I think we have a good football team.
Finally, Coach, through 3 games, 3 non-conference games, you're 2-1. Are you happy with that?
I wish we were 3-0. The expectation was to be 3-0 going in. If you would have told us that we would be 2-1 at this point, I think most people would take 2-1. Non-conference is over. That's what I told our not the first 3 games are over. We're going into a bye week, and then we have conference opponent number 1 coming up, and the goal is to win that football game. So no matter what we do in the non-conference games, win them all, lose them all. What matters for us in the pursuit of a championship is the conference games. What matters in regard to the playoffs is the conference games. So yes, I'll take 2-1. We've got to continue to improve. We've got to continue to get healthy, and we got to continue to get better. But I like the team. I like the leadership. I like the character that those guys showed all phases of the game to come back in the second half and give us a chance to win.
All right, thanks, Coach.